Hello there, Xenoblade Hero again, and today I will be looking at Game 2 of my match versus Rory at the Lincoln event qualifier. That's Steelicanth on Nugget Bridge and other communities. And without further ado, let's start the battle and see what happened here. Now, what I'd like to say at the start was that I think I learned from the last game that I need to preserve Kangaskhan a lot better. Although he did get a critical hit, which was possibly crucial, he might have been able to still sucker punch me to death, so I'm not sure if it actually counted that much, but anyway, I need to be careful and preserve my Kangaskhan a little bit better than I did in the previous turn, and especially with that fake out play previously, it really caught me off guard. So interestingly, he leads with same, and I lead the same as well, because I expected him to think that I'd either switch out my lead to put Godvar in, like I did switch to the first game, and I thought he would accommodate for that, for putting in the Morwell, because he hadn't seen that I actually carried the hidden power fire on the Godvar yet. So I lead the same, and he leads the same, and I make the same play of switching out the first turn, but I protect with my Kangaskhan instead of letting it get fake out or whatever, because obviously in his mind he knows now that I don't have fake out, so there's no point risking attacking and getting fake outed again. So I guess this could have been seen as predictable. He could have double targeted my Gardevoir or whatnot, but I would prefer him to double target my Gardevoir than for me to do a double protect first turn and just give him free momentum to do whatever he wants. Like, I just wouldn't want that. So anyway, I switch in my Gardevoir and I protect here. But what I find very interesting is he actually repeats and he uses Dark Pulse on my Kangaskhan and goes straight for the Scald on my Gardevoir. This tells me that perhaps he doesn't have the Draco Meteor on that Hydreigon after all. But that Scald was a good play, and to be fair, he could have burned me on the switch-in, so Scald was very safe. Even if I switched my Ferrothorn in, I wouldn't really have appreciated a burn, so Gardevoir was definitely my best switch there. And I'm surprised that he didn't double the slot, but obviously that's very risky, and I could have just left my Kangaskhan in to do damage, so fair play, fair play. Now he protects here, and I just repeat the same play because I know that Ludicolo doesn't have Protect. It would have definitely used it by now. And Fake Out and Protect is kind of awkward. Not a lot of Pokemon do carry that, so I repeat the same play, and none of his team members can switch into the combination. So he feints, and I wonder here if he's going to send out the Morwell, but in fact he doesn't. Interestingly, he sends out the Gardevoir, which I find very interesting. But he steals the Parental Bond, which is incredibly dangerous. You know, actually I should mention here that throughout this tournament, I've faced 3 different opponents who've managed to trace Parental Bond from a Kangaskhan with their own Gardevoirs. It's incredibly powerful. It's definitely very powerful, and I need to be careful around it, because if the Specs variants, they're very dangerous. I can survive the Scarf variants if it hits me, so he manages to switch out the Hydreigon, and doesn't switch to the Morwell, so he definitely doesn't have it. He switches to the Rotom H. I'm not sure why he didn't bring that Morwell, but either way, I just used the Dazzling Gleam and double target the Gardevoir slot I would expect. But either way, he goes for the Moonblast here and gets a critical hit on the first attack. But I just managed to hang in there with 7 HP, thankfully. I knew I would have been able to take that, but if he got 2 critical hits, actually I wouldn't have, but that's obviously very unlikely. So I managed to double target and KO that Gardevoir. The Dazzling Gleam at the start with the Gardevoir on my own part was safer in case he decided not to switch out the Hydreigon, but either way he needed to protect his Hydreigon here. I knew he couldn't have KO'd me with my Gardevoir without a critical hit, so actually wait, no, I took a little bit of chip damage, so I'm not sure if that was the best play on my part. That could have potentially been a bit dangerous, but either way, I expect to outspeed the Rotom, and managed to KO it with return, so yeah, I guess that was the best play at the time. In fact, that could have ended up badly if his Hydreigon, well, obviously it wasn't going to outspeed me, but obviously I knew the Rotom H wasn't, so perhaps I'll go back on what I said earlier, and actually that was quite a good play to go with. So in fact, he manages to do that, and now I just need to chip this, in case Dazzling Gleam has in case he's invested defense, and Dazzling Gleam, actually I got a high roll on it the previous turn, so that guarantees that I will KO it this turn, and that seals up the game for me, which actually means I'm through to the finals in Manchester already, so it doesn't matter if I lose any of my other tournament games, because I'm guaranteed through anyway. And we shook hands and said good game, and he was really cool about it. I mean, he said that he didn't know if he could make it to Manchester anyway, so he was very glad that someone else who's definitely was really really wanted to go was going. So I'm glad that he was so kind as to be very humble about the loss there, and I really do respect that. So thank you very much for being a really good sport. And I guess you can say I got revenge from you beating me in the previous tournament. So thank you very much for a very good game, and thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much.